Hey everyone, it's Marianne Maldonado, and today I'm going to be working with the main kit from May and the embellishment kit. I also use the Mandela stencil that you see here and this gorgeous new stamp set. All of these products are from the May kit, and I am going to create 3 very, very simple cards. One literally took maybe 5 minutes, and you can whip up a card wicked easily. So I started with the beautiful stamp set that is available this month or for the May kits, and it's a large floral stamp. I did it on a larger piece of paper, but then I trimmed it down to fit the front of my card with a pretty hefty border around it. The only problem is when you are stamping with this, you need to be careful not to push too hard. If you push too hard and ink has settled in those voided spaces, you're going to get over inking, like in spaces that you don't want ink to be. So don't push too hard on this, and use a tool and stamp it a couple of times, and I think everything will work out fine for you. So I did stamp it maybe 3 times, trimmed it down, and then added some foam tape, as always, and added it to a black card base. Now, it is simple, but I wanted to show you how you can whip up a card super easy with a few embellishments, and then you have a card pretty quick. Now, this would be a gorgeous sympathy card. However, for this project, or for these cards, I'm sticking with friends, thinking of you, kind of like cards that you would send out to friends. So you could also create a bunch of Father's Day, dad, brother, whatever with this card. There's a lot of colors in it that could be used for masculine cards, so keep that in mind. But I am doing some friend cards today, but I think the black would be perfect for either sympathy or for men. So I did choose to use a puffy sticker here, and in the next card coming up, I use a lot of puffy stickers, and I absolutely love them. I didn't want to add too much on here, just enough, and I probably could have added more paper, but I just think the simplicity of this is perfect. I recommend that you grab this stamp set. You can layer it with colors, as you see there, with those darker stamps. That will give you color inside of those florals. So for the next card, I wanted to use this, what is it? Stencil. Why couldn't that word come to me? Anyway, so I want to glue or make sure that my paper doesn't move. And then I put down the stencil and tape that as well and hope it doesn't move. Well, of course it moved on me because I didn't have tape tucked down to it very well, but it didn't move and ruin my paper. So I didn't have to start again. But I did want to use the layered stickers that are in the embellishment kit, I think. And so I wanted to use a color that would be coordinating, or that would coordinate well with the sticker that I want to use. And then I choose a different sticker in the end, of course. I don't like what I chose, but I do like this blue background regardless. So I start with a pretty light hand, and then I realize in the center is where I want to put the embellishment that I want to put down. And so I went heavy-handed and really darkened that up in the center. And it looks like maybe I used 2 different colors, but I didn't. So I add a circle in the center after I've trimmed down my card base to fit on a A2 card. And I use this circle journal block, but then I add the light bulb sticker to it. I tried the circle. That was my intent, but I didn't like it as much as I liked the light bulb. Sorry. So I do place that down. I also put a sentiment towards the bottom, and I added a few pieces of the circle enamels that come and left those right there. I used a couple of those circles, and I also added some clouds to the top because the sentiment is something similar to "You Are My Sunshine." So I wanted to add clouds in the sky, and then the blue to me makes it look kind of skyish. Maybe a cloudy sky, but you are the sunshine. Does that make sense? Maybe it doesn't make sense. Anyway, it came together. I liked it in the end, but I really like that stencil, and I think I've really been keen on stencils lately. I've really enjoyed using them for a lot of things I've been doing lately. So again, foam tape. I should seriously think about buying stock in foam tape so I can make money off of all the foam tape that I buy. So I put that down on a white card base, and there you have it. It's a layered card. Those layered stickers work magic all on their own. And again, I used the stencil from the Color Story kit. So for the next card, this one is the fun card. It might have taken me a little bit more time than the other two because they were very simple, but I wanted to cut out an A2 front. I cut it shorter, of course, so that there's a border. But then I have an idea to slice up that rainbow and have a void missing at an angle. So I take it back to my trimmer and I line it up where I think I'm going to make my first cut. So I do my first cut and then I flip it over and I tape those two cuts back together so that I can, I've got ahead of myself, sorry, so that I can be sure to cut that exactly where I want the second cut to be, right? Watch here. So I tape that back together, which I don't think really was necessary now that I think about it. And then I take that line and I go off of that line, make it straight, and I cut another line. So now you'll see there's a void in my card front, which I want to fill with all these little tiny adorable embellishments that are in the main kit and the embellishment kit. So I take a pencil and I draw really light lines that you won't even see. And I didn't even check if you could see them or not. I should probably look back. Take a fine pencil, void those or make lines right there, and then move those papers out of the way and get to sticking down all these embellishments. Do these embellishments match with each other? Of course they do. They're all from the same kit. Everything in this kit matches. Everything works beautifully together, but I decided to go with houses. And I went with some flowers and some hearts and then a beautiful epoxy flower in a second. You'll see. You can do this with anything that suits your fancy. You can have a theme that you've got going on there. I realized at the end that I went too far out. I didn't want to go beyond where my paper was going to be. So I brought a few pieces back in, as you see there. It's not as quite out far to the edges. So I, again, put this paper back together. And I think this is where the tape really helps. And I put foam tape where it's going to stick to the white part of the card, and try not to put any foam tape where all those embellishments will be. And then I peel that off and I stick it on the card front. And then I can easily remove my paper, pull out those 3M, whatever those are, Scotch tape, and you can see that it's put on there perfectly like it was a card front, and then I put in all those little embellishments. So easy. Do this. I think you'll really enjoy it. How cool would this be on a layout? And you could really go big and bold and maybe have a couple strips and use up a lot of those beautiful embellishments from over the past kits you have. And of course, the past kits could be blended in here really well too. So here are the close-ups of my card. I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you'll try that voided space on a card front, or maybe you'll whip up this really cute, simple card. But if you're interested in finding out more about Hit Kit Club, it's all in the description below. And you can also find me in all the description below. It's all down there, everything that I use. And I really appreciate you coming by today. If you'd like and subscribe, we'd really appreciate it. See you next time.